We were living, I believe, I was very small then. We were living, maybe I was like 5, 6, somewhere around there. And we were living in Harlem at that time.
And we is who?
That is my stepmother, Gladys,
Okay.
commonly known as Granny Gladys.
Granny Gladys, okay, heard that.
And my father, and Aunt Beryl, my father's sister, Aunt Mavis, my father's other sister, and my father's mother, Eloise Bryce.
You all live together?
Well, I'm not certain about all living together,
But
but we were all there, and we decided that we were going to try to get an apartment in the Bronx. I don't know why. I think the space that they were all living in was all too small for everybody. Anyhow, we went to the Bronx, and that was my first experience with prejudice, which I didn't know and racism, which at the time I didn't know it was called that.
So what happened?
I knew it was something, but I didn't know it had a name.
You knew it was something bad that didn't feel good.
Right.
And what happened?
So they took me and Mavis and Gladys, and we went apartment hunting in the Bronx. And every apartment building that had a sign out that they had apartments for rent, that used to have a shingle they used to hang outside the building, and it would say apartment for rent, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, so on and so forth. And everyone that we went to see the super on, he said, well, thank you ladies for coming by, but not for color.
They told you that?
Oh, they told you that quite openly.
Wow.
That was quite open. There was no bones about it.
So it wasn't, we already rented it?
No, it was, but not for color. And then we go to another one, and again we would hear this, and they're dragging me by the hand, of course. And we would hear again, sorry, not for color. And then we go to a third one, and again we'd hear, not for color. So they finally got disgusted, and we took the train and went back to where we were living at the time in Harlem. So then one of them, I'm not too sure if it was Gladys or Mavis, fell upon the idea that we would get Aunt Beryl, who was my father's other sister. She was third in line in his house, in his family.
Younger than your father?
No, older.
Older than your father. Okay.
No, I'm sorry, you're younger than my father. The first one was Inez, then came Beryl, then came Beryl, then came Mavis, then came Avis. That begins you with the first 5, I believe.
Yeah. Is there more than that?
Oh yeah, there was like 9.
Mavis and Avis?
Yeah, Mavis and Avis were 2. Mavis was 1, Avis was another.
Okay.
That's one. How many is that? 5?
That's 5. You got
That's
4
5.
more to
Well,
go.
there's like 4 more after that.
Okay.
Which we can get to another time.
Okay.
If we want to.
Okay.
Anyhow, one of them fell upon the idea that we'll get Aunt Beryl, father's next in line, to go to the Bronx because she was extremely fair.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she could pass herself off as not being colored.
Okay.
Anyhow, she was successful, and we secured an apartment on the top floor of 1000 Fox Street. Can't forget that address.
1000 Fox Street in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
What section of the Bronx?
Excuse me?
What section of the Bronx?
I couldn't tell you, 'cause I didn't know.
You don't know?
I
Okay.
don't remember what section of the
Right,
Bronx.
1005. Okay.
But you can find out, I'm sure. And we moved into this top floor apartment, which was nice and big. So, let me see who moved in. Beryl herself did not move in, but she was on the lease.
Okay.
Or at least so it was called, I think, at the time. Rental agreement or something of that nature. But it got to a point where they needed money to sustain themselves in this apartment. And Gladys would have to go to work. So Dad decided that I would go off to stay with his godmother in Boston.
Who's that?
Her name is Dada Maughan, Maughn. Dada Maughan. And the next thing I know, my father and I were on a Greyhound bus, and we were headed from the Bronx or Manhattan or wherever the bus took off from, and we went to Boston.